Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Charlie. On today's episode, I'm going to be showing y'all how to make my delicious oven-roasted hen. Now, we first start off by taking the hen, we rinse it off, we trim off the excess fat, and then we create a onion garlic marinade, which has herbs and seasonings in it. We coat that onto the hen, and we place it into a plastic bag, and we marinate that in the refrigerator overnight. The next day, we add some butter and a little water into a roasting pan. We tie the hen up, and we add it into the roasting pan, and from there we add it into the oven, and we bake it until the hen is nice, tender, juicy, and well cooked. This recipe calls for about 4 to 8 servings, so you can have one hen per person, or you can take the hen and cut the hen in half. It's a great dish to try, especially during the holidays. Besides having a regular old turkey, you can try a hen. Not only that, it's flavorful, well seasoned, and absolutely delicious. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, here's all you'll need to make your oven roasted Cornish hens. Let's get started with our ingredients. You'll need 4 pounds and 14 ounces. You might as well round that off to 5 pounds of Cornish hens, and this is 4 of them, of course. And here is the brand. And along with that, you will need some salted butter. And for your seasonings, you will need some salt, black pepper, Tony Saturated Grill seasoning. Now, if you don't have this, you can use the Zatarain's Grill seasoning or the Slapping Mama Cajun seasoning. And you will also need some Chef Paul Put On Support Your Magic, 1 yellow onion, some garlic, some fresh oregano, some fresh thyme. Now, if you don't have the fresh oregano and fresh thyme, you can also use the dried oregano and the dried thyme. Either one will work perfectly for this recipe, okay? And for your tools, you will need a small food processor, a large plastic bag or container because we're going to marinate our Cornish hens. You will also need a pastry brush. And I forgot to mention that you're also going to need some food ties as well. And to bake your Cornish hens, you will need a 10 by 14 inch roasting pan. And there we have it. All right, let's get straight to it. So here I have a half of a yellow onion, and I'm just going to take my knife. I'm just going to cut this into medium-sized pieces. So that way when we put it in the food processor, it'll break up much easier. All right, here I have 3 large cloves of garlic. I went ahead and cut them in half. Okay, here I have a garlic press, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the garlic. And there we go. Okay, here I have my fresh thyme. Now remember, you can save time by using the dry thyme. Now, here we have a stem to the thyme. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our index finger and our thumb, and we're going to place it on the stem, and we're just going to carefully remove the leaves off the stem of the thyme by gliding your 2 fingers on the stem. And as you can see, the leaves come right off. And from there, you're only going to need 1 tablespoon of the fresh thyme. Now, if you're using dry thyme, I'm going to give you the measurements from that coming up. And from there, I'm just going to take my knife and I'm just going to chop this up fine. And there we go. All right, here I have my fresh oregano. Now remember, you can save time by using the dried oregano if you like. Okay, now this is the same procedure like what we did when we did the dried thyme. We're just going to start by taking our thumb and our index finger, and we're just going to glide the leaves off the stem of the oregano, and the leaves should come right off. Now if that doesn't work, you could just take the leaves and just pull it off the stem instead. Okay, and once done, you should have about 2 to 3 tablespoons of the oregano leaves. Now, if you're using the dried oregano, the measurements for that are going to be less. So I'm going to give you the measurements for that coming up soon. And from there, I'm just going to take my knife and I'm just going to chop this up really fine. And as I chop this up, the oregano will reduce a little bit. All right, that looks good. All right, let's get started with our onion and garlic marinade. So in a small food processor, remember the chopped yellow onion that we cut up? I'm just going to add that all in there. And here we have the 3 cloves of garlic that we pressed using the garlic press. And this is about a tablespoon of this garlic altogether. We're just going to add that in there. And for the rest of your seasonings, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, a 1/2 teaspoon of Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning, a 1/2 teaspoon of Chef Paul Prudhomme's Poetry Magic. Here's our fresh thyme that we chopped. That's 1 tablespoon. I'm going to add that in there. If you're using dried thyme, about 2 teaspoons will do. And remember the fresh oregano that we chopped. This is 1 tablespoon. Now, if you're using the dried oregano, you're going to add 2 teaspoons of dried oregano right on in there, and you'll be good to go. Just add that in there. Blend this for 1 minute. All right, and this is how it looks when we're done. Nice and pulverized. That's exactly what we're looking for. All right, let's get started with our hens. So I've added my Cornish hens into the strainer, and I'm going to rinse the Cornish hens off with cold water. And I like to do this step to rinse off any blood or particles that might be on the hen. All right, here we have our hen, so make sure you take some napkins and pat the hen dry. Okay, and from there you can stick your hand into the hen's cavity, remove any kind of contents from out of there, make sure that that's nice and clean. And also, this is another thing I want to show you. You can take your finger, make sure your hands are clean when fooling with meat. Okay, so you can take your finger. This is where the hen's breast is. You lift the skin up from the back right here, and you can just take your finger and you have an opening to where the hen breast is. And this is where we're going to put some of the onion and garlic and spice mixture. And the same thing on this side. Just take your finger, go in there, and it's just that simple. Okay, next, as you can see here, we have some excessive skin on the hen. So from there, we're just going to take a knife and we're just going to trim that skin off. Same thing on this side. We're just going to take the knife and just trim the skin off. Looks like they got a little fat in here. I'm going to just try to take my knife and scrape a little bit of that out. In the front here, they have some more excessive skin up here in the front. I'll just trim a little bit of that off. Alright, now I also want to show y'all this too. As you can see in the front of the hen where the hen breast is, you peel some of the skin back, and as you can see there's this big blob of skin here. You want to carefully just take your hands and remove that off. Get as much of it off as much as possible. And there we go. Our hen is nice, clean cut, and ready to go. Okay, let's get started with marinating our Cornish hens. So we've taken our Cornish hens and we've added them into this large bowl. And here is our onion and garlic mixture that we just got finished from blending. We're just going to add that all in there, all at once. Okay, next I'm going to take my hands, make sure your hands is clean. And I'm just going to carefully rub the onion and garlic mixture all around the Cornish hens. You can take it and get all into the cavity of the Cornish hens, just like that. Remember the trick that I told you earlier about the skin right here? You could take a little bit of it and add it inside of the skin of the Cornish hen as well. Alright, that looks good. Alright, here we have our large plastic bag here. And from there, we're going to take each of the Cornish hens and we're going to place them in the bag. Now, if you have a smaller bag than this, that'll work. Or even a Ziploc bag, a large Ziploc bag, you could fit it in there. All right, and here is our the rest of our onion and garlic mixture that we have left over in our bowl. I'm always sneaking a little bit of something extra in here, so I have about 2 to 3 teaspoons of hickory liquid smoke, and I'm just gonna add that in there too. Don't tell nobody now. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a quick stir, just like that. And from there, I'm just going to carefully pour this into the bag. And from there, I'm just going to take, using the bag, I'm going to just try to massage the seasonings and everything even more into the Cornish hens while it's still in the bag. Just massage. So we're just massaging all those seasonings in there. All right. Now I'm going to tie this up like so. Here I have one of my little Glad containers. I'm just gonna transport it right on in there, just like that. And from there, I'm going to take this and place this into my refrigerator for about 4 hours. But if you're a patient guy like myself, I'm gonna let this sit in my refrigerator overnight. And from there, the next day, I'll bake the Cornish hens. So see you then. All right, it is the next day, so let's check on our hen. We let it marinate overnight in this large plastic bag here. So I'm gonna just pull one of the hens out and just place them onto this chopping board here. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and preheat my oven to 350 degrees. Okay, next we're gonna take our food ties, place it underneath the hen, and we're just gonna tie the wings together. Here's another twine here. Let's place it underneath the hen. And from there, we're going to tie the legs to the hen together. And that way, it keeps everything together during the baking process. Okay, next I'm going to take some kitchen scissors and trim off the excess. And from there, we're going to take the hen and place it into your roasting pan. All right, now in our marinade bag, as you can see, there's some liquid from when we marinated the hen. I cut the bag off here with some scissors, and I'm just going to pour that into the roasting pan. Just pour that on in there. There's a little bit more on the chopping board here. I'm going to just add that in there as well. All right, next I'm going to just pour a little bit of water. I'm going to pour about a half a cup of water. This is going to prevent the hens from drying out. Just shake the roasting pan like that. Make sure everything is good. All right, here I have about 4 to 5 tablespoons of cubed salted butter. And I'm just going to add that around the roasting pan. And as a final garnish, this is optional, I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of Chef Paul Prudhomme's Portrait Magic right on top of the hens. Just a little bit. And there we go. Now they are ready to be baked. Place this into a preheated 350-degree oven on the bottom rack. Keep in mind that baking times vary depending on the size of the hen, your roasting pan, and your oven. Bake this for 1 hour and 15 minutes. All right, it's been about 30 minutes now. Let's go ahead and check on our hens. All right, here I have a pastry brush. And I'm gonna just take some of the pan juices and I'm going to brush that on top of the hen. All right, back into the oven it goes. Now I'm going to place this back into the oven and I'm going to bake it for 30 additional minutes. All right, our 30 additional minutes is up. We're currently at the hour mark. Now let's go ahead and check on our hens. Now I'm going to remove this out of the oven. Okay, we've inserted a thermometer into the thigh of the hen and the temperature is currently 165 degrees. Needs a little bit more baking time. Okay, now at this time I'm going to turn my temperature of my oven up from 350 to 425 degrees. So we're going to take our pastry brush. I'll take some of the pan juices and we're just going to brush that on top of the hens. Now I'm going to place this back into the oven and I'm going to bake this for an additional 15 minutes. Alright, it's been about 1 hour and 15 minutes total baking time for our hens. Now let's go ahead and remove this out of the oven. Alright, I've inserted the meat thermometer into the hen's thigh. That temperature reads 180 degrees. And from there, our hens are done. Now you want to make sure that you check the temperature of all the hens you cook just to make sure that the temperature is accurate. All right, here I have a pastry brush. Now I'm just going to baste the hen once again, just one last time. I'm going to take some kitchen scissors and remove the twine from off the hens. And here's another tip for you. As the hen is cooling, before serving, you're going to cover it with aluminum foil. That's going to keep the chicken nice and moist and flavorful. And after about 30 minutes, you remove the aluminum foil off. And after that, it's ready to be served. All right, now I cut a little small part of the hen, and this is how the inside looks right here. We just got finished from taking it out the oven, so it's still a little hot. So, all right, y'all, here we have our hen. We pretty much dissected the whole thing. And this is the inside of the hen and everything. I just want to show y'all that this is thoroughly cooked, even though it looks, the meat of the hen looks like it's a little pink. But don't worry about that. That is normal. As you can see, this is part of the backbone. But other than that, it is thoroughly cooked. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Oven-roasted Cornish hens, made by a New Orleans native. If you like my channel, hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell button if you want to be notified of my videos. I have an official website for all of my recipes, including this one. Go to www.charliethecookandrews.com. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter under the name Charlie the Cook Andrews. Stay tuned as Charlie's Taste Test is coming up next. Can't wait. Now it's time to go eat and take a bite. Now I have each piece of the hen on my plate. I have a piece of the hen breast, the thigh, the leg, and the wing. This is the hen's breast here. Oh yeah. This is the thigh here. Here's the leg. Oh yeah. And lastly, the wing. Oh yes. I absolutely love the flavor of this. You could taste the seasonings. The hen has soaked up all the seasonings. The hen's breast is nice, tender, and juicy, along with the legs, the wings, and the thighs, all tender, well seasoned, juicy. Like I said, the hen soaked up all of those flavors from the seasonings and that onion and that garlic marinade that we made. Delicious. So instead of cooking that regular old traditional turkey for Thanksgiving, make the hen. Try it. It's delicious. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, have a good one. Peace.